Yeah, we took profits in Gilead. Right of that, we got into it Friday. You know, longs in this market right now are tough. I mean, we got some good ones. Temis is bouncing up nicely here today. Gilead looks good. DGX looks good, but the market is weak. I mean, we definitely having a sell-off in the market here. Last couple of weeks, it's so you kind of trying to find some decent shorts, which I'm looking for right now. But again, this is just a pretty, just fairly tight compression here right now. Ari XL Biotech with relative strength just hit the 20-year high. Nice. EXEL. Yep, proof. Nice move up here this morning, 3%. Yeah. Yep, nice breakout in the AXEL. Biotech, very nice. Ari's on top of these things. This is a nice setup in EXEL right now. Had earnings a couple weeks ago. Been basically moving up since then. But nice breakout here on it this morning. Nice look. Again, NVIDIA, as I said, I would have taken profit. If you're in it, I would have taken profits right here. And not so much just because of NVIDIA's price action, but because of the SPY price action. It's definitely getting smaller, compressed smaller. It could easily get a small bounce here, so not a good time to be out of some of these things. All right, gotta see if I get any questions. I'm gonna start go back and look for some more stocks here for trade the rest of the day. How you doing, Allie?
Okay. Ellie
Huh?
had a last minute doctor's appointment.
Oh, Allie did.
Yeah. And she's told me he's not, he's not great. No.
You like her.
Yeah, she's great. I mean,
Yeah.
also she's been healthy the last couple of years, just getting for supervision purposes,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
sucks.
Oh man. Gave Alfie some food, but he ignored it.
Oh,
Of course.
of course.
I put his pills in there too. He usually eats those.
The pills?
Yeah.
Could be hiding, maybe. Damn it. Every time I wait too long to wash my hair, I swear it falls out way worse.
People back then was crazy.
Yeah. She's antisocial.
What are you doing in there? He went to go pee and he wanted to go pee. He walked out the door and at the time it was coming down in torrents. He turned around and bolted right back into the house.
Little weenie.
Oh God.
Yep. Just have to do some maintenance on my feet for yoga since I'm in there
What?
barefoot.
You what?
I had to do some maintenance on my feet.
Oh, so they look good?
Well, no, just because the calluses
Oh, they
are
hurt
really
you.
bad.
Yeah.
Like, I mean.
Those three going to yoga tonight?
Yes. Yeah. So.
Big night for Allison.
Well, I like to go every week, but I felt shitty last week.
Yeah, I know you did.
I'll probably feel shitty today, but
This is the full maintenance.
Well, might as well.
That's what Ruthie says. I'm doing full body maintenance today.
Yeah. Kind of. He doesn't have the hair.
No.
His hair kind of.
No, the hair is a double-edged sword. It's beautiful, but it takes care.
Yeah, and I don't even do any. I mean, I don't do anything. I mean, most women, they spend a lot. They spend time styling their hair.
Yeah, and they spend a lot of money on it.
Yeah, and I don't.
All right, back to the room.
How's it coming in there?
Huh?
How's it going in there?
Market's down 500.
Oh,
I'm selling and we're going into a recession.
no. God damn it.
You might get more customers from that, Allison.
Yeah, well, not if they can't afford to pay me.
People will be distraught.
Not if they can't afford to pay me.
I suppose.
That's the whole problem. At least it's good if, they weren't spending as much because they were just chilling.
Terry, whoops. Terry looking at Monster, MNST, big pullback, or little pullback from the breaking through recent high. Yeah, it broke through a nice recent high this morning. That's a nice look. On MNST, it's just pulling back a little bit, but this is a really good setup for the long on MNST. They had good earnings a little over a week ago and gapped up and been kind of moving sideways since then, and broke out here this morning. Nice look on MNST. Otis all-time high, Terry. I had that on my list from yesterday. Yeah, it broke out yesterday. Had a nice breakout and is continuing up today about 2%. So I mean, there are some strong stocks here with this weak market. This market is really just creeping along sideways now. I'm leaning toward the short side today. I did an Nvidia short, but I like DGX long because the market is so weak. And the SPY actually has quite a bit of downside potential on it, but right now you can't trade this. I mean, this is ridiculous. These candles are tiny. MSTR just moving sideways here now. Nvidia bounced up. As I said, when the SPY started to move sideways or started to move up a little bit, if you were short this and you had profits in it, you take it off. This is still a good short setup on Nvidia. If you get a move up to the 15 and a Fibonacci reversal to the downside, this turns yellow or red, then it's good. But you've got to keep your eye on the SPY, because if the SPY bounces, you don't want to be diving into it when the SPY bounces. I don't know that the SPY is even going to bounce, but that's what I'd be looking at Nvidia. I'd be looking at a Fibonacci reversal candle to the downside up here around the 15 and take it short if it occurs. Right here, you still got green candles here. This is still blue, but that's what you're looking at is for a reversal somewhere around here on this 15. If it goes through there, then you'd be waiting for it to occur here at the VWAP. Again, I'm not doing any SPY super system trades right now just because of this price action. Price action's hideous. IWM moving up a little bit here. Some of the weak stocks, there's Walmart moving, compressing now after coming down pretty hard. Abercrombie, some of the retail stores got hit pretty hard this morning, but you notice they're coming down here and everything's just compressing right now. Just sideways moves. So if you're looking for likely relative strength, relative weakness, either of these are pretty good right now because of the fact that the market is moving sideways. So anything that's showing relative weakness is going to be a good short, depending on what the daily chart looks like. Good. This is Skechers. It's a good short. SKX is a good short. Caesar's coming in. Also a decent short. It isn't below Friday's low, however. Ross Stores, another stores coming in. That's not that great. So that's what you look for. Boeing, I don't touch. Gapping down again today. Another big move to the downside on Boeing. And for green, you got we get the energy stocks coming back here, but they're coming off of some deep lows, so you have to be careful. Schlumberger up above the 100-day moving average. I'm not thrilled with energy. Notice all those things here that got relative strength now are cascading up. You notice they were all red for the day. So this is a bounce in stocks that are very weak, which is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for stocks that are strong and they're having a strong day. So I'm only interested in the green ones. Skechers, it's a pretty nice short. It's coming down pretty hard. SPY just moving sideways. So you can see the relative weakness in Skechers, SKX. Only has monthly options. Trading at about 54.88 right now. Kind of a big flush on it right here. Daily chart very bearish. See what I can find for support. Around 53.79 support on SKX. A little about $1.10 to the downside on SKX. I'm not going to touch it here. It's too. I'm not going to chase it as it breaks down. I'll be waiting for it to bounce back up and then take it. DGX coming in, Tesla sideways, Nvidia sideways. All right, I'm just going to look around for some stocks here. I don't see an awful lot right now to trade. IWM now, Peter. You probably posted that a few minutes ago. 11:15. Yeah, I was breaking down to that's what you're talking about. But notice this. This is still blue. I can't take it when it's like that. And you're going into a dynamic compression zone. I wouldn't touch it right now. I'd wait for you. The momentum is still pretty good on the upside here right now. Same thing with the SPY. Same thing with the Qs. Again, I'm looking for individual stocks right now that have relative strength and relative weakness. Super systems fed up, yeah. It because notice that momentum is blue on the IWM. Notice the Qs is red. The IWM is not. It had a nice little move up here, which moved the momentum up pretty high. Qs are the weakest one right now. And the SPY is probably the index that's got the most room to the downside, assuming it actually sets up short. which it is not right now. SKX, what puts would you buy and when? Well, it has monthlies. I'm not going to chase it off of this pushback here, but what I'd be looking at, if I was looking at buying some puts in SKX, obviously you're going to have to take March 21st. The stock's trading at about $55. All right, so it's about $55. So what I'd be looking at is the 57.50 puts, 57.50 puts, which are in the money by about 250, and they've got about 250 of intrinsic value, so 259 of intrinsic value. They go for 330 by 360. That would be the one I'd look at, the 57.50 puts for March 21st. Terry, MPW, potential doji sandwich. Yeah, doji sandwich setup. It's actually a pretty good breakout right now in MPW. It's a healthcare facility. It's a REIT for healthcare properties. I mean, it's that we need a doji to get a doji sandwich set up. It's actually a pretty decent setup for just a long right now. It's actually doing a Heikin-Achi reversal on the 5-minute chart right now on MPW. Nice look on that one. Again, it's a cheap stock. It's only $6 stock, but that's a pretty nice setup for a potential long. Now you got to appreciate the strength of IBM. Yep. Nice move today. Daily Heikin-Achi, daily Heikin-Achi reversal on the daily chart on IBM. This candle on IBM today, the second candle from Friday and today, is creating a Heikin-Achi reversal candle. If we switch to Heikin-Achi, so I can kind of emphasize this. Okay, this is a Heikin-Achi on the 5-minute. All right, you had a reversal right there. I'm not doing much, but let's take a look at the daily chart. Okay, there's a Heikin-Achi reversal today off of this big move down. It's a nice setup on IBM for a long. It's pretty much trying to break out right here. Mickey D's today, McDonald's up to an all-time high. All right, get some questions on YouTube. Good morning. So it seems good to have a decent trend in the market after the horrible back and forth. Yeah, I mean, I don't care whether we have a trend up or trend down. I just want to have a trend. I mean, we had a bear market in 2022. Now we're not in a bear market yet, but we're threatening to go into one. How do I feel about DAR? Looks like an institutional sell-off. Yeah, it's a pretty hard sell-off on this Darling Ingredients. Yeah, the volume's been pretty high the last few days. Friday wasn't great. Volume wasn't tremendous. Today's volume is pretty good. Definitely a big sell-off here in DAR. This thing it's just been selling off for a long time. It's a good short. It's a good short. DAR is a nice short. Here it is right here. Whoops, that's not it. Here it is right here. That's the daily chart. You can see the sell-off's been pretty brutal. Switch over to a 5-minute. Again, selling off pretty hard here this morning. Go to regular candles for the time being. We just still set. That's a nice setup on that one. H. Thank you very much for that. Nice one. DAR short. I didn't take it short, but it's definitely a good short here. No earnings till 4:24. It's down about almost 4.5% this morning. Again, the market's moving sideways, so you've got to take that. You got to take that into your calculations when you're looking at anything. But you can see the DAR has got a decent weakness here. Yeah, Nvidia is bouncing up a little bit. TGX coming back here now. Again, it went right to resistance and failed. We're out of Gilead for profits. Looks like it was a good time to get out. And we're watching Temis, which has been doing pretty good today, pulling back a little bit right now. SKX just moving sideways. Yeah, this DAR was pointed out as a nice short setup. Another day of hurry up and wait here right now in the market after this gap down. Market's been very, very weak, and I did trade Nvidia short this morning and did pretty well on that one, but I'm just kind of watching. Team is still up about $3.50 right now. By trying to bounce a little bit here. We've been watching this DAR for potential short. Again, I'm not jumping into it while the market's trying to bounce up. Pins we looked at earlier was a decent short. It's just kind of moving sideways. A lot of the ones that got beat down pretty hard are trying to recover a little bit right now. What? Get cold? Oh, I think it's already gone by. This is a storm that developed off the coast. I don't know how cool it's gonna get. Hey Google, what's the low temperature in James Island tonight?
The low temperature tonight in James Island will be 47 degrees.
Yeah, it's going down to 47 in the 40s. That's cold enough.
No, it's not. I meant during the day.
I don't want 30s.
I meant during the day.
Oh. Hey Google, what's the high temperature in James Island tomorrow?
The West Ashland.
Tomorrow in James Island, expect a high of 72 degrees.
It's gotta be warm. 72 tomorrow.
Not ready. Not ready for it.
72 is about average.
I don't like it.
We're in March, you know.
No.
Summer's coming.
Shut up. It's not true.
Listen. Good God.
I can't handle the truth, Dave.
You can't handle the truth.
I literally can't.
Yeah,
Literally.
then I'll just lie to you. That would be better.
Yeah.
And then you'll come back and bitch.
Yeah.
You told me this isn't true.
Oh yeah. What else is there?
We got a little buying coming into the market here now as the SPY gets right up to the VWAP. Qs as well. And again, IWM as well. Right up through the VWAP. Not touching anything right now. Again, we took profits in Gilead, which moved up beautifully today. Let's pull back since we get out. Listen, we have a decent, no, it's a decent exit. Might have been able to squeeze out another 15 cents or something, but I'm not worried about that. You're watching the dollar that was pointed out again. It's a nice short, but you don't want to dive into it. You wait until you get a setup. You see, it's still in blue on the momentum right now. It's also moving up a little bit. It's a nice short. But what's the market doing? You see, the market is dragging things up with it right now. A lot of stocks that had relative strength earlier have lost relative strength. So a lot of them had relative weakness, have gone to neutral or relatively strong now. So the market getting kind of choppy. SPY back up above the pivot point here. I'm sorry, the VWAP here as a potential long. But again, these are going to be very quick trades. Oops. And it's Fibonacci candle right there. It's Fibonacci reversal right there on the SPY as it moves up through the VWAP. But you know, do you trust this to the long side? I don't. It could go, but you got to be really, really nimble on these trades. Q's right at the VWAP. SPY, I got SPY with resistance right now at 568.33. 568.33 on the SPY. A couple of points to the upside, but I'm not touching this long right now. I don't, this market is way too weak. Snow swing 40%. Nice job, Joe. Yeah, snow's been pretty weak. Down about $10 today. Halo, been a good continued relative strength. HALO, Halo. Yeah, that's another biotech. Again, the biotechs don't go with the market. They go to their own drummer here. And Halo's breaking out right now this morning, up about 3%. Nice look on Halo. Not an all-time high, I don't think. No, it's not. But it's within shouting distance of the all-time high. All-time high somewhere around 65.41. 65.41 all-time high, but nice setup on Halo right now. DAR, what options when it's ready? Let me look, Steve. Again, it's bouncing up right now, bouncing up toward the VWAP on DAR. So if we get it, if it gets set up for short and the market turns around, heads back down again, that's when I'd look at it. Right now, that's where I take it, but right now I wouldn't. But I'll tell you what I'd be looking at for DAR puts. Only monthlies. Yeah, they're trading at 31.04. Yeah, these have, you'd have to, you can go deep in the money in these things. I think I would probably take a 35 put on it for March 21st. You could do a 32.50, but they're 32.50 would be all right as well. Those are $2 by 215. They've got $1.48 of intrinsic. You can take the 35 puts for about $4.15, and they get about $4 of intrinsic value in them. So that's a deep in the money one. That's almost like shorting the stock. But I think if I was going to trade, I probably would take the 35s. But 32.50s for March 21st would also work. But again, you don't want to touch it right now. It's market's bouncing up. It's bouncing up. You want to make sure that this downside trend continues. It's a little extended to the downside on the daily. Quite a bit extended for the downside on the daily. So that's something to be concerned about. And likely right now I'd be mostly day trading stuff. Here's the SPY breaking down here again, coming down below the VWAP and coming right down to the 15. So this is looking like a potential short in the SPY. It's not quite a Heikenite reversal on it yet. This is really quite a bit of chop here. We want to see some conviction that this breakdown is going to last. DGX pulling down hard now. Happy I didn't touch that yet. DAR moving up. SKX moving sideways. NVIDIA still bouncing up a little bit. Just watching. About 11:45. 11:42. Sorry, asked me if I ever trade futures. And I generally don't trade futures. I mean, I have in the past, and I do trade them sometimes, but typically I just stick with these SPY, the Q, and the IWM when I'm trading that. And you can. There's nothing wrong with trading the ES and the NQ off of the SPY super system. They works fine. You can trade the SPX too if you want to try to take something that's a little more expensive, but you can make some decent money out of the SPX. But I stick with mostly options on stocks. I do trade shares sometime, but mostly options on stocks, as well as the SPY super system for the indexes. You know, what I like about stocks versus futures, or even the SPYs and the Qs, is that you can judge relative strength and relative weakness on stocks versus the market, and you can't. You can compare the SPY to the Qs and the SPY to the IWM. You can compare the indexes against each other, but with the stock, you can compare the actual stock against how the market's moving, which is how you get your relative strength and relative weakness criteria set. You see very little here right now as far as green stocks that are moving up. BTU, which is coal. Daily chart on BTU is horrible. It's just coming off of a deep low. Team is pulling back a little bit now. Still up nicely for the day, though. Everything moving down here right now just off of this last candle. Root moving up today a little bit, coming off the 8, up about $1.50. Again, I don't trust the market either way right now. I don't have any conviction. I mean, it's weak, definitely weak, but I don't want to chase these things when we've been trapping around this compression areas. You really kind of need to see a break below this compression area. A lot of stocks that were up this morning are selling off pretty hard right now. Yeah, a little pullback in the market, and we're getting a lot of mixed candles here. The airline's pretty weak. Delta's a good long short setup today. American's bouncing a little bit. United bounced a little bit. Southwest is also bearish. I kind of like Delta Airlines as a short. $46.80, the downside support. Yeah, we got strong bullish momentum here right now, but we went right to the VWAP. We're not getting a Heikenatch reversal yet. Look for Heikenatch reversal to the downside. This was one right here. See, after that Heikenatch reversal, what a nice little flush down your head. And then we had Heikenatch reversal to the upside, up to the VWAP, waiting for Heikenatch reversal to the downside and have this turn yellow. That's a nice setup on Delta Airlines. I'm going to make a note of that. DAR moving sideways. Pretty much the market's not doing much of anything here right now. Everybody's going to lunch, I guess. It's a Heikin reversal on Delta Airlines right here. We do have this still blue. We need to just move down a little bit to turn yellow. It's a decent setup on Delta Airlines short. Again, I would just be day trading these things. You know, you want to see that regular candles continue to be bearish, which they're not right this second.
TSM article out says Huawei reportedly acquired 2 million Ascend 910 AI chips from TSMC last year through shell companies.
Took some Delta Airlines. Again, this is a day trade, and I did take next week's options on Delta Airline. I took the 52 puts expiring next Friday, the 14th, for Delta Airlines. But again, I just took some puts. I'd like to see it get below here. I took them even before this turned yellow, so this is kind of a front run type trade where I'm just gonna. But I did go into next week on these things. The daily chart on here on Delta is pretty bearish. I mean, this is a pretty bearish setup. It obviously could bounce, but you can see the setup here in Delta is really weak, and got room down here to 46.80. So I took next week's puts for Delta. I took the 52 puts for next week, expiring 3/14. I paid 345 for them. 345. Again, those are the 52 puts on Delta. And I like the setup. I'm going to post it here. I'm not going to alert on it, but I'm going to post it on here, just so you can see what I'm taking. March 14th, 52 puts. I paid 345 for them. Okay, that's just a room trade, because the market's not really doing too much here. But I like this. I like the setup on this. I like the daily setup on it is fine for short. So again, I'll probably take it off today. I am trading against this momentum here right now. So again, that's what you want to be aware of. This didn't turn yellow yet. I'm waiting for it to turn yellow, but I've got some resistance up here at the 15 and I get the VWAP, and I'm gonna hold this for a bit and see what happens. It's not a really fast-moving stock. And we've got some decent intrinsic value in those options. They're trading at about 342 right now, and we've got 232. We got about 230, a little over 230 in intrinsic value, and they go out to next week. So you get two full weeks on these things. So that's why I put them out there. I'm not going to lose too much time on them over today. Did I say March 14th? Yeah, this week, never mind. Yeah, March 14th. I was going to try to take the 21st. I took the 14th. So I'll give it a little bit of time here, see what it does. Again, I'm going to hold it for a bit. It is bouncing here right now, likely to getting the market. Again, I traded against the momentum, so I want to point that out. It still had blue momentum until the lines. So this technically was not the setup to take. I should have waited for it to turn yellow, but I wanted to get a position on this thing because I still like it short here. And I could be completely wrong. We'll see what happens. It's by bouncing a little bit here. AH is the bottom momentum indicator. You're talking about the current time frame momentum right here. Is this based off a fractal? No, it's looking at the LRSI with the momentum indicator, but with the divergence stripped out. It's just showing pure momentum. This is a really good momentum indicator. This is going to give you a fractal for the time frame here. This is looking at the 5, the 15, and the 45. All right, on this multi time frame momentum right there. But when I'm trading intraday for quick trades, I use this. If this agrees with it, it's even better, of course, but it doesn't have to. Again, Delta Airlines going against me here, but we'll see what happens. Again, I have red here. I got red here and blue here, so I've got a contradiction in the current time frame. But I took this based off the technical setup on it. This indicator with the divergence stripped out is really very effective. SPY weakening here. Pretty choppy though. You can see this nice pull down and just a lot of chopping here right now. DAR starting to come back down again. It's starting to set up for a short. Again, you don't want to touch it yet. You've still got green here, but it's definitely setting up for a short. DGX, which was a nice long setup this morning, has pulled back pretty hard, and we're out of Gilead this morning, right at about the high of the day, which actually was it was good timing. I mean, I didn't obviously plan it like that, but it worked out pretty good. TMIS has pulled back quite a bit too. Still green for the day though in a down market. So the only one I've got really on right now is this Delta Airlines. I posted 314. I took 314, Terry. I'm sorry, I thought I was taking next week's. I took this week's, so I'm going to leave it there. 14th is this week. Yep, thanks, Ari. Pointed it, yep. I said next week's, I actually took this week, so I posted this week's. I'm doing all this stuff kind of in a hurry when I'm answering questions and looking at other stocks, so. I only want it to be a day trade anyway, so I'm not particularly concerned about the fact that I didn't go out to next week. I was trying to, but I didn't. But I mean, I'm gonna get out of it today anyway, most likely, if I make a profit on it. There's Delta coming in now. Again, I paid $345. They're going for about $355 right now. Again, this isn't a fast-moving stock, but You know, if I can make 20% on this, that would be pretty nice. That would require me to go to about 410. Right now it's 345 by 360. You went yellow as hoped it would. Again, Delta coming in. DAR, web red candle, flush below the VWAP. Kind of sitting just below the 15 right now, which had gone green. You notice you've got green on the momentum. I can't touch that right now. Again, I'm in Delta short. Tesla coming in. Definitely a good short setup today on Tesla. SPY drifting down here. SPY super system setup likely was right there. Let me see. I didn't take it. I'm not taking these right now, but yeah, that was the entry right there. Fibonacci candle, yellow, breaking down below the 15. A nice entry on that one. Delta Airlines, it's got quite a bit. It's got room down to 46.80 on Delta Airlines. I'll be out well before it gets there. SPY down about over 2% today. This is a big sell-off in the market here in the last 2 weeks. Really big sell-off. SPY was at let's see, 613.23 on the 19th of February. So 3 weeks later, it's come down from 613 to 563. All right, so that's about 55, 56 points, 60 points, about 50 points, yeah, 50 points. 50 points on a 613 is approaching 10%. Technically, 10% drop is a correction. 20% is a bear market. SPY with a little bounce here. Root. Ali still in Root? Yeah, I'm still in Root too. Again, I got shares on Root, so the setup's fine. It's just moving sideways. I want to see it above 142.54 on Root. This is the one we talked about last week. It's a nice setup on Root. Again, financial service, insurance. Pulled down hard here. Earnings was nice, bounced up. Tried to get through this resistance level right there. Got through it for a peek through. This is where I actually took it. Now it's pulled back, but you notice it's just riding along the 8 here. It's a decent setup on Root. SPY with a little bounce. Gary, it's this Friday on Delta Airlines, 14th. I said next week. I meant to take the 14th, but I meant to take the 21st. But when I put the order in, it went through on the 14th because I had the wrong expiration date up there. But I'm happy. That's okay. That's not. I just wanted to give myself a little, take a little pressure off as far as time is concerned. But I hope to get out of the trade today, so we'll see. But it's definitely the 14th is what I took. Yes, my 14th is this week. Oh, you sent that a while ago, Gary. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I just seen some of these messages now, so. Gonna put a sell order on Delta at 405. Sell order for 405. It's trading at about 360 right now. SPY trying to bounce here. Q's also. Delta, again, it's relative weakness. The market's bouncing up, Delta's bound going down. That's what you want to see on and when you have a short position on. Terry, you filled the Delta 52 puts, 321 for $4. Okay, thank you, thank you. And get lunch here in a few minutes. It's about 12:15. Biblical, you're new here watching, welcome. This is you're in the YouTube room. I do this each day from about 11 o'clock till about 12 o'clock or so. Then I break for lunch and I shut it down at that point. Again, this is the SPY Super System software that we use over here. This runs on thinkorswim. You can purchase the software. This gives us our indicators to let us know when the institutions are buying or selling. This is a current time frame momentum. This is a multi-time frame momentum. This is a multi-time frame trend. You can see on Delta Airlines, they're all bearish. This is what I'm keying on because this is an intraday trade for me. I want this to stay red or yellow, which is bearish. And this is the VWAP, and this is the 15 EMA. Those are my support and resistance levels. I took it as it broke through the 15 EMA to the downside. This software tells us whether the institutions are in the trade or not. It's a very big help to entering trades, exiting trades, figuring which ones to take, which ones not to take. It's a big help. I use it all the time. I'd be lost without it. And get some scans and things that come with this with the software package. It's pretty nice. Then we trade things called the SPY Super System, which is we're doing 5-minute trades off of the SPY Qs or IWM if the criteria sets up, which is this has to be breaking down like here, right through the 15, and this has to be yellow or red, and you've got a short. You know, the thing is short. This is a pop out of the box symbol. This tells us it's breaking out of compression. So again, SPY is definitely a short today, but this is pretty choppy action right here. So again, the only thing I'm in right now is Delta Airlines. We did take profits this morning in Gilead from Friday. That was worked out beautifully. We picked it off at the high right here for our sell, and now I'm in Delta short. All right, see if we get any questions. I'm going to get some lunch here in a minute. All right, MLYS Biotech, again, good results. MLYS. Yeah, nice move in this thing this morning. 66%. Big gap up. Big gap up. And man, still moving up. Most of the gains were, well, a lot of the gains were made on the gap up, but this is quite a big move in MLYS. Nice one, Ari. And I'm not going to chase it up here, but it's kind of set way up here. If it wasn't a biotech, I'd take a strangle on the thing, but I suspect there's no way I'm going to take a strangle because the option prices are going to be either just monthlies or they're going to be way out of whack. I'll look at it just quickly just to see, but I don't think so. Yeah, just monthlies. The options for the monthlies on that thing, if you did a monthly strangle, which is 2 weeks out, which is a long way to go for a strangle. I don't normally do that. It's about $3.50. Get an ATR of about $1.50. So again, way too expensive. SPY pushing down here now. Really a pretty big red candle here. Basically, SPY Super System set up most likely right coming up here right now. And no Heikinaichi candle reversal, but this is a pretty big candle right now. Okay, you want to make sure it confirms. We've got a lot of back and forth here. Delta also coming in. Again, I got a sell order on Delta at 405. James short BKR. Yeah, Baker Hughes energy stock weak right now. Yeah, that's a nice breakdown of BKR. It's a nice looking BKR for short. It hasn't quite got below Thursday's low, which was 41.36. It's 41.48, but it's definitely a short setup right here. The AR bounced back up again. And again, we're in Delta. Not a lot of things here right now. Delta still looks weak to the market. The market's pulling down again. All right, I'm going to grab some lunch. It's about 12:22. So again, I'm going to shut down the YouTube feed. Thanks very much from the YouTube folks for being here today. Thank you very much, and be back here tomorrow again. And again, thanks for looking at it. Again, you can join my room or you can join my alert service, but you join them both. If you go to rightlinetrading.com, it'll give you the entries to the subscriptions for that, or you can buy the software. The software is the SPY Super System software right here, which tells us whether institutions are in the trade, and I have a lot of videos on how to use this effectively for just about every strategy we use here. All right, you have a great one, and I'll shut the YouTube feed down, then I'm going to get some lunch.